In this video, we'll go over a few different rotator cuff strengthening exercises. The rotator cuff is made out of 4 different muscles. We have the supraspinatus muscle, which is on the top. We have the infraspinatus and teres minor, which is on the back side of the shoulder. And then we have the subscapularis muscle, which is on the front. This exercise is called scaption. We're working on the supraspinatus muscle. We can also do a variation where we're going to hold on one side and then go through our lateral raises on the other. You want to be just forward of true horizontal, and so somewhere between 10 to 15 degrees, that'll put you in line with the actual shoulder blade, which will make this exercise a little bit more effective. This exercise, we're going to go over a traditional internal rotation strengthening exercise. This will work the subscapularis muscle. If you notice, I have a towel that's tucked in between my elbow and my side. That'll push my arm out just a little bit, which will actually help activate the rotator cuff just a little bit more. We can repeat this exercise on the other side, so now we're working external rotation of the shoulder, which is for the infraspinatus and teres minor muscles. So for this exercise, you feel it working on the back side of the shoulder. Again, I still have the towel tucked in between my elbow and my side, just to activate the rotator cuff a little bit more. Now we'll go into a kneeling position, and so I'm going to work on external rotation at 90 degrees. For this exercise, you want to pretend that there's a rod going from your elbow to your other shoulder, so that way you're just working on rotation and nothing else. Another variation is we can add a row to that exercise, so we'll row, get a little bit of rhomboids and middle traps, and then we will do the rotation to get the infraspinatus and teres minor muscles working. For internal rotation at 90 degrees, we'll just flip the whole exercise around. So this time the band's going to be anchored behind me. And again, we want to pretend that there is a rod going from elbow to opposite shoulder, so that way we're just working on purely internal rotation of the shoulder. This will work the subscapularis muscle. This exercise is a variation of a windshield wiper, and so what we're going to do is we're going to have a mini loop attached around our wrists, and we're just going to bring our arm out to the side, trying to keep our forearms parallel to each other. This will work the posterior shoulder as well, so again, infraspinatus and teres minor. This is a floating wall slide, and so obviously we don't have a wall, but again, mini loop around the wrists, and then we're just going to lift our arms up overhead, trying to keep our forearms parallel to each other. These are pretty challenging exercises, so typically I only make people do a couple reps, so somewhere between 5 to 10. Now we'll start to load the shoulder. In this exercise, we're just going to do a overhead press. This is with a kettlebell, but can be done with a dumbbell as well. Try to keep everything stationary during this exercise except for the shoulder, so you want to keep a nice neutral spine. The benefit of using a kettlebell is that we can do a bottoms-up press, which will increase the stability demands on the shoulder. So as you can see, I'm holding from the handle of the kettlebell with most of the weight on top, and you can see there's a little bit of wobble on the shoulder just because it's a little bit more unstable, but a great stability exercise for the shoulder. Next, we'll add a plyometric exercise. So this is with a weighted ball that's about 4 pounds, and we're just going to work on a external rotation plyometric exercise. So we're just tossing the ball up in the air. Next is the windshield wiper exercise up against a wall this time. So again, mini loop just around the wrists, and I'm just going to rotate my arms out. My elbows are about in line with my shoulder, so that's about how high you want them. We can progress this exercise to just a traditional wall slide. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the forearms against the wall, slide up. That'll get both the teres minor and infraspinatus muscles. They'll lift off at the top. We'll get the lower traps to kind of help rotate those shoulder blades upwards. The progression to the wall slide exercise is the wall walk. So for this one, very similar, just this time we're going to slowly lift our arms a little bit off the wall as we walk them up. Again, you're trying to keep your forearms parallel to each other and then lift off at the top to get the lower traps. The next exercise is a kettlebell windmill. In this exercise, the goal is to keep your arm up towards the ceiling and you're going to rotate your body around. It's a great exercise to help add some dynamic movements. For this one, you really want to push your hips back as you're reaching down towards the ground. That way you keep a neutral spine. This one is a horizontal raise, and so this exercise is going to work the posterior cuff again, and also rhomboids and middle traps. You want to slowly go through the range of motion, having a nice fluid motion throughout the whole exercise. And finally, we're going to do a kettlebell armbar exercise. So this is a great exercise to help load the shoulder at the end of the range of motion. You want to be careful. It's a very challenging exercise, and you definitely need to build up into this, especially if you have some shoulder instability, such as like a dislocation or something like that. But you're going to slowly just roll your body down towards the ground and then back. Thank you guys for watching our video on rotator cuff strengthening. Hopefully you found the exercises helpful. If you did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.